Hello everyone and welcome back to our monthly Greater Vancouver market update. Unfortunately, with how busy life got over the last 12 months and what was the busiest year ever recorded in terms of sales in Vancouver real estate, I wasn't able to keep up with making these videos for you. But my New Year's resolution this year was to get back in front of the screen and keep you up to date with what's happening in the Vancouver real estate market. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the numbers. I want to start out this month's update by doing a quick review of what happened in 2021. As I mentioned off the top, last year was the busiest year ever in Vancouver real estate in terms of number of homes sold. The Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver recorded a record-setting 43,989 transactions, which was an increase of a whopping 42% over 2020. Now, of course, the start of the pandemic played a role in where the 2020 numbers ended up, but regardless, a 42% increase is significant no matter what the circumstances. But before we break down the numbers month by month for 2021, I just want to quickly review months of inventory and what that means for everybody, because this is something that I will be focusing a lot of my attention on in these video updates. So, months of inventory is a way to describe the absorption rate of the market, meaning if no new listings were to hit the market, how many months would it take to sell out all of the existing inventory? And what this allows us to do is to quantify supply and demand. We always hear those terms, and we also always hear buyer's market, seller's market, balanced market, but what do they actually mean? And what looking at months of inventory does is it allows us to see which one of those types of markets we are currently in by measuring the supply versus the demand. And that's done by taking the total number of listings for the month and dividing it by the total number of sales. So anything under 4 months of inventory is a seller's market. Anything between 4 to 6 MOI is a balanced market. And anything above 6 is a buyer's market. And of course, in a seller's market, the seller has all the leverage and prices are going up. In a buyer's market, the buyer has all the leverage and prices have downward pressure. And in a balanced market, things generally remain fairly even keeled. So, by looking at these figures, we can predict whether prices are going to be going up or down relatively easily. Now, let's take a look at 2021 as a whole. You can very quickly see that right from the start of the year, we were in a seller's market with 3.5 months of inventory in January, and it went down to as low as 1.6 MOI in March, and finished the year not much higher at 1.9 MOI. Now let me tell you, 1.9 months of inventory is a raging hot market, and as a result, January 2022 prices were up a staggering 18.5% from what they were in January 2021. When we break this down by property type, we can see that single-family detached prices were up 22.7% across the region, townhouse prices were up 24.3%, while condos ended up being 14% up from a year ago. So now if we look at the January numbers to see how 2022 started off, we can see that we had an 8.2% increase in listings over the previous month, going from 5236 to 5663, and a 15% drop in sales since December, going from 2688 to 2285. But don't let these numbers fool you. They still work out to a mere 2.5 months of inventory for the month of January, which is still a super hot seller's market. And in a seller's market, prices will continue to rise, as we can see here, going from a benchmark price of $1.23 million to $1.26 million, an increase of 2.4% in a single month. But the one thing I do want to stress about looking at these figures is that the market is quite different from region to region across Greater Vancouver, as well as from property type to property type. For example, downtown condos are not even close to these figures, as a lot of these numbers are still heavily skewed by the detached and townhouse markets in the suburbs. So what does this mean for the near future? Well, unless there's a sharp decrease in demand, which could potentially happen as interest rates go up, and unless there's a flood of new inventory, expect prices to continue to rise relatively quickly for the foreseeable future. And even if interest rates do increase, most buyers have locked in their rates for at least 3 months. So it'll take some time for a slowdown to actually take effect and be seen in the numbers. Therefore, all signs point to another busy year ahead. That's it for me for this month. I hope you found this market update useful. If you have, please like it, share it, as well as subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you right back here in about a month's time. Take care, everyone.